you really wanted them to there at the end. But talk about what went well for you guys overall.
Moving the ball. We had 21 assists. We've really struggled in zone in the past, and just in practice working on it. And we saw strides tonight. We moved the ball very well. Unfortunately, we didn't get enough stops tonight.
Jay, the second straight game, you guys have a chance to kind of win it in the end, and the final few minutes don't go your way. How frustrating is that?
It's very frustrating. Those games, you got to figure out how to win, and just got to be able to execute down the stretch and just listen better and execute better. That's X's and O's, and we weren't able to do that tonight.
Jade, you did. I think the game was tied at 65, and you weren't able to get the ball in those two back-to-back possessions. Was that just the way Tulsa was defending you?
What was the last word you said?
Was that the way Tulsa was defending you, where they just really denied you the ball?
I mean, I was trying my best to get the ball those two possessions. Unfortunately, I just didn't get it. I just tried to get it, but I wasn't able to get it, and just live with the results.
Jaden, Tulsa was able to get to the stripe with regularity tonight. You guys did to a certain degree as well, but talk about how things were going on the defensive end of the court and what you were seeing a little bit.
It was just very frustrating. Not getting the same number on the other end, and a lot of questionable calls tonight. A lot of blocks tonight. It was just wasn't going our way, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, and sometimes it does, and you're happy when it does go your way. So we had to be able to overcome that, even though it wasn't in our favor tonight.
Jaden, despite the loss, back-to-back games for you, it seems like you're getting back in rhythm. Joe has been talking about how hard it's been to get in rhythm this season. Despite the loss, do you feel like you're getting back to your normal self? It looks like it.
I mean, yes, that's all it takes. Rhythm, just playing games, consistency, practice 2 times, play a game, practice 2 times, play a game. And people don't understand how vital that is to be shut down and then come out and just try to get back in shape and practice and play a game. And it's vital that we're getting these opportunities to practice and play and practice and play. And as you've seen, we keep getting better each time we come out here. So we're starting to figure some things out.
Yeah, I was going to ask, when you're in a losing streak like this, is the best thing to do to just kind of keep playing and have a shot at stopping that? I mean, just kind of mentally, is that what y'all want to do, is to just keep playing games and eventually you're going to get one?
I mean, yes, you got to prepare to win all those games, but you want to come out here and give your best effort and keep getting better. Coach mentioned that we got to keep getting better during these stretches. Even though we're losing right now, we got to keep coming here with the winning mindset to come get better at practice and then come out here and compete.
JJ, how frustrating have these last 2 games been, kind of being in it right in the end and not able to come out on top?
I mean, it's tough, we still trying to get back in rhythm with all the corona thing going on, but we're going to take it one day at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time, and get back to where we was.
JJ, you guys got more shots than they got. They got a heck of a lot more free throws than you guys got. What's your take on how things went today and how the game was called overall?
Man, we was shooting jump. They was aggressive coming down here off the dribbles. We just work on guarding it better in practice.
What are some of the challenges, JJ, especially for the guards right now in this league, just against these opponents? Is there anything you kind of pinpoint of what's been difficult, during this obviously kind of losing streak?
I mean, really just paying attention to detail, scouting report, know your players, who you guard and what they do. So, yeah.
JJ, are you a Cardinals fan or are you just wearing the hat?
Oh, no, I don't even know what team. I just do it for the team.
I was only going to ask because they made a big trade yesterday. Never mind. I'll stay quiet. I'll mute myself.
All right.
Mark, you're muted.
despite losing the ball game today, you guys continue to improve. How close do you guys feel like that you are to beginning to turn things around a bit?
We right there, like we said. We we just got Dooley back. We just got the full team back. We'll have Tyree back coming into this week, and he's a big part of the team. So I think we'll be good going to it next week.
Obviously disappointed the way we closed it out. I thought, we had a couple opportunities, and I got to give Tulsa credit. Obviously, they made some plays, especially Rochelle. And I thought a real key in the basketball game, to tell you the truth, play was Jackson. I thought he played with great energy and really got a couple loose balls for him and did some things that really, was good defensively. He had a steal and just gave him a lot of energy, which I thought really helped him.
Their second straight game, you guys right there in the end, and it doesn't finish the way you want. Just how frustrating is that?
It's part of learning how to win. I mean, we've got to. I mean, there's everybody talks about this or that. There's really a handful of plays in the first half that set the tone. There's a handful of plays in the second half, and then how do you close out? Making sure when we get a stop that we rebound the ball. If there's a possession that doesn't necessarily go, at least we get a shot or get a better shot or get to the free throw line. I thought that was the big difference in the game. Obviously, they shot a bunch of free throws, and that was a big differential.
With Tristan Newton today, scoreless, and obviously he's kind of coming back from COVID protocols. Is he kind of personified the team of just maybe being inconsistent or up and down and trying to find his rhythm a little bit?
Yeah, when just statistically, when you analyze from last year and this year, the numbers don't even come close, and we're trying to figure it out. It's obviously probably frustrates him, but Tristan averaged almost 12 points a game last year, and shot in the 40s, and now we're it's not happening right now, and we need to figure out how to get him get his confidence going. But we got to get his confidence going. We're also trying to win the game, so I mean there's a fine line, but just the numbers from last year to this year, they're polar opposites, and we need to try to figure it out. We've talked about it, we've watched tape and on it, and that would really help if he got going a little bit, like Jaden has last couple of games.
Yeah, Joe, speaking of Jaden, I just want to say I'm glad you didn't get hit by a car and saw you on the sideline today. But speaking of Jaden, despite the loss, just to see him get back in rhythm the past two games, that has to be comforting on your side, right?
Yeah, it's really comforting. I mean, and when you look across at the numbers, I mean, today what cost us was our defense. I mean, we scored enough points at home to win a game. If you don't put them on the free throw line and we get a couple timely stops, and I mean, we had 21 assists on 25 field goals. I mean, we did some good things. Now, were there some possessions that were a little off kilter? Yes, but I thought it was really our defense on a lot of things that we know how to guard that we've got to clean up here quickly.
You look at the box score, you got more shots than they did, but they sure did get to the free throw line with a lot more regularity. Some of those were a bit on the questionable side too. When they shoot twice as many free throws as you guys do, how do you win a ball game like that?
It's hard. And I mean, you look, and obviously there's mistakes made both ways, officiating, but there was a couple that when you watch the tape, you go back and it bothers you, but that's, it's the same thing. That's not the reason we lost the game. There was 50-50 balls. There was, we had to guard better. And there's also a couple of offensive possessions I wish we could have had back.
Coach, given all the COVID stuff you've been through, and then obviously the losing spell you're in right now, do you feel the frustrating starting to mount a little bit, or do you think the guys are still pretty engaged?
Oh, I hope they're frustrated. I mean, if they're not frustrated, then we have a problem. I mean, losing's miserable. So, I mean, and no one cares. I mean, I watch teams come out of pause and all these other. I watch Clemson, and I scared me to death watching them come out. I think the real key for us is getting better now, trying to get back to where we were before Christmas. Start getting some bodies back, start getting some practice, start getting some rhythm offensively, and start getting some, back to seeing things that we know how to guard. And we had 3 or 4 today. We know how to tag and roll, and we tagged it or didn't tag it long enough, and ends up in baskets. So I do think we need some practice reps and some game reps.
Clearly, this team is getting better. I know it's not much Soltis right now, but do you get the sense that they're learning how to take more advantage of the opportunities that they get and getting closer to winning?
I mean, it's a fragile thing, as we all know. I mean, I felt pretty good coming out of Christmas or going to Christmas that, I think we won the games we should win. Now we can get better when we come back. And we've had a little bit of a rough stretch, and it is what it is. Now I think the big thing is, how do you stay together? How do you get better? How do you compete? How do we clean up some things and try to get our guys better?
Is some of that, obviously, we've talked about it for years, attributed to the league and the grind of, if you lose a close game like this, the next opponent you have is going to present a lot of the same challenges. It kind of just game to game, how difficult it can be in this league, I guess.
It's a really good league. I mean, you look at, Memphis, Houston's going to be a top, 2-3 seed, depending upon how they finish up. Memphis is on a bit of a tear. SMU is good. If you look at what Tulsa's done, Tulsa's won on the road. We've got good teams in our league, and if you're a little bit off, you'll get beat. I mean, Temple's on an upswing. If you're not ready to play, you'll get beat, and even if you play well, you could get beat.